welcome to another edition of Huddle Up with McCabe's Pub and Lounge. We are back in studio here on a Thursday afternoon, getting geared up for another slate of high school, college, and pro football. Tanner Struckman here with Husker Radio. Mr. Corey Anderson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, especially since I beat you last weekend.
You did beat me on picks. Thanks for rubbing that in. You led with that. Nash Ackerman, he beat me as well. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great just because of that.
You're doing great just because of that. Did fantasy football get you a win?
You know, no, it didn't.
Okay.
I actually
at this
dropped
point,
the ball.
You might as well just go over.
Well, that one was my fault. I didn't even set my lineup.
Oh,
so,
you're that guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it got away from me on Sunday.
That's all right. Let's talk. Let's get into our picks. Actually, it's all brought to you by McCabe's Pub and Lounge downtown, just down the street. They've got some things that we're going to talk about here. We've got a busy Friday night. My goodness, I mean, they have not slighted everything outside of the Bulldogs, who actually play tonight on this Thursday that we're recording this. By the time you see it, that game will be done. But I know you guys are going to air that game. But yeah, the Bulldogs play tonight. Everybody else plays tomorrow night. Husker football, Husker volleyball. It's high school slate is full. Kind of unfortunate. I hate that, but it is what it is. They didn't ask me, so everybody's going to play Friday night almost at the same time, and we'll just have to have screen after screen after screen. Corey, you're going game. Are you going to have a screen to watch the Husker game on?
I don't think so. I'll
You're
be
not
at
that
Brady.
guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I no, and I don't think. Well, I suppose I could bring it up my phone. It'd be too distracting. Let's put it that way.
I'm probably going to take my daughter's iPad and just without her knowing.
Sneak a peek.
Yeah,
here.
I'm just going to have it on the background. I can't not. I'm not the guy that can go back and watch games after the fact. Like, it's impossible. There's no way I'll be able to do that, and not know the score. So, I'll probably be sneaking in. Let's get into our picks, though. Corey, you went 3-1. Nash, you went 3-1. I went 1-3. Rough week for me. We all got saved by Alabama, who literally hit the spread on the dot. Nebraska did not cover. You guys were right on the money. Maryland kept it close. But the Huskers get another tight win. Doesn't it feel like everything is opposite over the last 10 years? Like these games at the end, the other team's making the mistake and not Nebraska.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's looking good. It's glad to see that, despite all the adversity during the game, that when it comes down to it, we can get her done.
Oh, it's been fun. And of course, Dylan Raiola, up and down game. I mean, 3 picks, Corey. It wasn't pretty, but to his credit, game-winning drive when it mattered most.
Yeah, exactly, and hopefully learn from that. He threw a couple just up for grabs and needs to quit doing that. I don't know that we can get away with -3 on turnovers again and hope to overcome that.
That's the kicker. -3 on turnovers on the road. The game script didn't really Nebraska should have ran the ball 20 more times if you ask me. I mean, they were pounding it down their throat, and yet still won. Little disconcerting. Our defense didn't get anything done on the turnover side. Dylan's only thrown 5. He's 16-5 right now in his touchdown to turnover ratio. So, I mean, I feel like that was a rough one, but he's had 4 now in the last 2 games. So that's got to get cleaned up. But you guys got that one right. Picking Maryland, just going against the spread. You didn't go against Nebraska. We all got Oregon wrong, and I don't know that anybody would have gotten that game right. Indiana, I guess they're for real.
Yeah, I'm all in. I think they're for real. I think they're going to be a contender. They're showing up in big games, and I'm a little nervous about it.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not nervous, but just amazed at that turnaround he's been able to do. It was like cute last year, and then you do it again, and it's like, okay, no, it's not cute anymore. He's like, it's the real deal. And then they go to Oregon on the road and get a huge win. I'm not sure many saw that coming. And my Niners lost, and they lost their linebacker too. So life's great. Niners don't have anybody left to play, I don't think, this weekend. But, hey, picks right now, running totals, we'll put them up here. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I had some fun with graphics last week. We're going to do it again here this week. Corey, you're 11-17, 14-14 for Nash. No, I think I've got that wrong. I think I'm 14-14, and you're 15-13. I know I'm not in the lead. So Nash in the lead by a game yet. Corey, you're still hanging around, though, and a good week, back-to-back weeks could put you back in this. So we'll get into our picks in just a little bit. Of course, we've got a high school slate. I know the Bulldogs, they play tonight. This is Thursday that we're recording this. They're at Millard South, a long road trip there against maybe a top 25 team in all of high school football in the state of Nebraska. So great opportunity to see the best team that the Bulldogs have probably seen in recent history in any fashion. And Sandal Sedford goes to Hyannis. That's the only Thursday night slate. So most games on this Friday night, and some big ones that we're getting down to the final regular season of 8-man football and the second to last week for 6 and 11-man football. So that's pretty fun. One more week to go for the 11-man and 6-man next week. But one of those 11-man teams is Hershey, 5-2, and they got a big one tonight against Kearney Catholic. Both undefeated in their district. Hershey 5-2, Kearney Catholic 7-0. Likely, Corey, going to be a game that decides the district and maybe even a home playoff game by the end of the season.
Well, it would. I think it would launch Hershey into positioning for a home game. A loss wouldn't knock them out of that top 16 in a playoff berth. They'd have to win next week.
Right.
Should be a good one. And I think Hershey's built up a lot of confidence with a string of wins that they haven't experienced for quite some time.
Looking to get to the playoffs. They should be in. As long as they win one of the last two, they'll get in. And so, I mean, 0-2, I don't know if they miss playoffs. They might. I haven't done the math. 1-1, they're in the playoffs on the road. 2-0, they're probably a home game. Haven't qualified for the playoffs since 2017. So shout out to the Panthers. Good luck to them against Kearney Catholic. St. Pat's will have that game only on HuskerRadio.com due to our Husker football coverage. I've expressed my pain on that Friday night scheduling enough. We'll have that on HuskerRadio.com live video. So no radio coverage, but at Arapahoe, who's 2-5 Irish, just basically hoping to improve their seed. They're not going to get probably a home playoff game. They're going to be on the road, just hoping to get a better seed or a different draw. Sandals Valley wraps up their season at Pleasanton, opportunity for a win. Sutherland wraps up their season against Bridgeport. You've got Brady Maxwell as our game of the week, and that's a rivalry game. Corey, you want to talk about this one? And there's some playoff implications on this game.
Well, it certainly is, and more so for Maxwell. They are 4-3, and they can improve their seeding. They're 26. I looked at it earlier this week. They really need it, and a loss, and it's very precarious. They could drop out of that top 32. And of course, for Brady, they want to win over their rivals.
Sure.
I could sense it talking to their coach and quarterback yesterday too. So. I really, these rivalry games they're all toss-ups basically. Who's going to play the best, execute the best, and make big plays.
Fun thing about that rivalry too is they're 10 miles apart. So I mean, everybody knows each other. That's a
Pretty
fun
much,
one right
yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Brady, it looked like they were out of the playoff race even with a win. I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. But yeah, Maxwell should be in with a win and could get a better, maybe improve their seeding a little bit. Baird and Mullen. Mullen is probably going to host a playoff game in a week's time. And those are, by the way, next Thursday. That's really quick. Class D 8-man football playoffs begin next Thursday. Wallace is a really good one at Juanita Palisade in a 6-man ranks. Wallace 5-1. Juanita Palisade's 4-2. Wallace will win, probably gets them a home playoff game potentially. Of course, they got another week of the regular season, but that's a really good matchup in the 6-man ranks. And Paxton, Medicine Valley tonight as well on this Friday night at least for high school football. So, again, final week of the regular season for high school in the area. Best of luck to all our teams there. And one more week for 11 and 6-man. And then we get playoffs. We've already started talking playoff scenarios, who we're going to cover, what games we could see. You kind of start doing the math and going, well, that's who this team could get. What road trip are they going to be? And the funny thing about 8-man football is it's no longer east-west. It used to be in the first round, it'd be east-west, and then they put them together. No more. So you can go anywhere. You can go 4.5 hours, 5 hours if you really got slated with the correct entry or incorrect draw, if you will, if you want a road trip or not. So it kind of makes it interesting. You're going to see some different matchups for sure, and that'll be fun. And we'll have coverage again on KX1 on the Hawk 98.5. Brady Maxwell. That's a difference because, again, of course, got Husker football. And then we'll also have coverage, of course, of St. Pat's again on HuskerRadio.com. And football, Nebraska, Minnesota, which leads us into our picks. That'll be our final pick because I'm interested to see what you guys say. Let's get into some picks. Again, Nash got a 1-game lead. We've got Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia, 7-point favorites, Nash. Ole Miss, undefeated. Georgia just one loss. What say you for this big SEC matchup?
Well, given that Georgia's got the favor on the spread, I think Ole Miss is going to spoil that. I think Ole Miss takes the bet here, but I do think Georgia might come out on top in the end there. So
okay, Corey.
I'm pretty much thinking the same thing as Nash on that regard. I think Ole Miss doesn't get the national attention and love that Georgia gets, but they're a solid team. Just looking at them, the times I've had to take a peek at them, and I think this is going to be a much better game than most people anticipate, and it would not surprise me if the Rebels win.
I'm exactly with you. It's an Ole Miss sweep across the board here because I think not only do they cover, I think I have a great chance of winning. 4 of their 6-7 wins have been within a touchdown or less for Ole Miss. They are close win guys. And I know it's at Georgia, but I think that's a great opportunity for Ole Miss to prove. And, these SEC games have been some toss-up games. I mean, really, really good ones. And it's a slugfest right now in that conference. Let's go on to Penn State at Iowa. I thought this was just kind of a fun one. Penn State firing James Franklin. Iowa, are they for real? They've quietly had a couple really good games back-to-back, like really impressive wins, not necessarily the opponent, but just how they've done it. And they're 3-point home favorites against Penn State, who has just fallen completely out of the world, losing 2 20-plus favorites back-to-back weeks. That's not been done in a long, long time. They've lost. Head coach is gone. Who knows if Matt Rule's a candidate for that job? I would imagine he's potentially one, but nevertheless, they go to Iowa. What do you think? Can they find the magic back, or does Iowa continue to roll?
I'm going to take Iowa here. I think it's going to continue to happen for Penn State. I don't think they're going to be quite at or at least what everybody thought they were at the beginning of the season. I think Iowa's kind of gaining a little bit of momentum, not a ton, but I think they're definitely can win this game, and that's what I'm gonna take.
All right, Corey, Iowa 3-point favorites.
They'll cover. Penn State's reeling right now with the coaching change. They're just trying to get everything together right now. Unfortunately, Nebraska can't play them this week.
Right,
I
no
wish
kidding.
Nebraska was.
They'll have it
playing.
figured out by the time we see
by
them.
the time we see them in late November, they're probably right the ship. But no, I really think the Hawkeyes will play well. They dominated Wisconsin. I realize Wisconsin isn't that good, but Iowa's got it going, and they got they got a good offensive coordinator now, and they actually have a decent offense. So I think I'll take them.
I'm going to go opposite, just like UCLA factor. UCLA fires their coach, and look what happens. They turn it on, and they're just, they play free maybe more free for Penn State. Quarterback is out for the year for Penn State, to be fair, but I think they could have beaten the Hawkeyes even with or without him, from the beginning of the season at least. Obviously, they're in some disarray right now, but sometimes when that happens, just like it did for UCLA, it goes the opposite way. And what does Penn State at this point have to lose? So I think they go in pretty free, and I'm going to say Penn State maybe stays within 3. I know it's not a very big spread, but I'm going to go with Penn State on that one. Finally, before we get to our Husker game, let's go to the NFL real quick because this is a fascinating team. The Indianapolis Colts have the number 1 offense in football right now, which statistically at least, it's kind of amazing. And they're at San Diego. It's a big game for the top of the AFC. Pittsburgh and Indianapolis both just 1 loss, and the Chargers have 2 losses. So straight up game. The spread was not much on the road all the way to San Diego, Nash.
I'm taking Indy. I think they got a good thing going, and I think they're going to continue it on this weekend.
Very good.
They got a good thing going, but not this weekend. I'm taking the Chargers.
Not so fast, my friend. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts. I got to throw one of those in for our dear friend there, Mr. Corso. I'm going Indy. I don't know. Daniel Jones is playing well. They've got a great run game, and I don't ever believe in the Chargers. And even I don't know. This is a big game for them. I mean, everybody can say what they want, but right now, look who's at the top. The Colts are at the top, and you get 6-7 games in, it starts to become a real. Like, it's not just this cute little story that can't last. So I like the way they play football. Let's go to the big one now. Nebraska at Minnesota. Huskers tonight. We say this because it's going to air on Friday. First off, again, not first off, about the third time I've said this, hate the Friday game, but is what it is. Huskers at Minnesota. It started out as like a touchdown, went up to 9. It's down to 7.5, and you even saw 6.5 today. I got it at 7.5. That's what we're locking it in at. 7.5-point favorites. Nebraska at Minnesota. Nash, what say you?
I'm going to take Minnesota against the spread. I think it's going to be a similar story to last week. I think, to be honest, going forward, most games for Nebraska are going to be kind of nail biters, and I think we're looking at the same thing this week. I want to be clear again. Nebraska comes out on top at the end, but we're not covering your 7.5 spread.
Okay.
Copy that, Nash. I'm feeling the same way on that. I think Nebraska will win, but it's going to go right down to the very end. Maybe a Kyle Kananen field goal to win.
Well, it bit me last week, so I'm going to stick with it. And the fact that it's 7.5, because a touchdown's a little easier. 6 and 7 are a little easier. 7.5, you don't want to get beat by that. So I'm going to go with Minnesota, but I do think Nebraska wins this game. I think Emmett Johnson. It's his home state, hometown, and he's going back. He never got an offer from PJ Fleck. And despite, I know you guys share a bald head here. I can't stand the guy. I like you a lot more, but I can't stand PJ Fleck. Row the boat into the dam and crash the boat for all I care, because I can't stand that. I hate.
Best dressed coach in the Big Ten, though.
Maybe
gotta
fine.
admit that.
I'll give him that. But I don't know what that gets you. But I hope Nebraska takes care of business. But I think you're right. I think it's a tight one, and hopefully late game magic again gets it done. Maybe it is Kyle Kananen. Either way, we'll have it for you on KX104 and KODY if you can't watch or be there. And, of course, you can go watch it. You guys have a full slate. You've got a fun thing going on here on this Friday, too.
Yeah, we're going to have both the volleyball game and football game tonight, I suppose. So come out, check it out. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. We already got quite the party coming. So
very good.
I mean, hoping to add to it. And then also, all going kind of all day tomorrow from 11 to 9. We're going to donate 10% of our proceeds to spina bifida, going out to a good cause. Have a few friends and customers that come in that are have that, I suppose. I'm not sure the best way to say that, but good cause. Come out, have some lunch, have some dinner, watch the game. Your money's going to a good place. So.
11 to 9 on Friday. 10% goes to spina bifida again at McCabe's Pub and Lounge, 402 North Dewey, downtown North Platte. Your Husker Hype Zone's in there, ready to go for a big weekend. Enjoy the Friday night slate. Yeah, you mentioned Husker volleyball at Michigan State. Sunday they'll play at Michigan, so you can go get a Sunday afternoon game at McCabe's as well. They're cruising right now. Life pretty good in Husker land.
Yeah, it's looking good.
It's looking good. Corey, Nash, thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy the football weekend, all right?
Thank you, Tanner.
Thank you.
Huddle Up with McCabe's Pub and Lounge.